The basement window. I grew up in a remote northeastern town in the province of Quebec. After my parents separated, my mom moved me and my siblings into an older house on a cul-de-sac street. The neighborhood was, for the most part, a decent place to raise kids and teens. However, the area had experienced a few issues with high-volume break-ins in the recent years before we bought the house. The previous owners had installed locking metal braces on the basement windows to prevent potential intruders from entering. Our next-door neighbor had placed a huge spotlight on the pole in his backyard that sequentially lit our yard as well. This kind of stuff was foreign to us, as in my hometown, a place where people hardly locked their homes and cars, these precautions were unusual and seemed a bit excessive. My mom had a 6-foot wooden fence built around one side of the house that enclosed all the basement windows. This was not done out of fear of trespassers, but rather for added privacy and to define the borders of the property. I was about 14 at the time. Being the oldest kid, this meant I got dibs on the only basement bedroom. Don't get me wrong, I was happy for my privacy, freedom to blast music, access my own bathroom, but the basement, it creeped me out with its old-fashioned cellar, loud furnace, spiral staircase, and floor-to-ceiling wall of mirrors in the TV room. It was dark. The furnace made strange noises at night, and I slept far away from the rest of my other family. The window in my room was basically a half window because the surrounding area had been dug out and an aluminum window was well installed. I wasn't too keen on darkness of the creepy basement, so I usually slept with the curtains open. Yeah, I know, really brave of me, right? My neighbor's spotlight partially shone into my room, creating some sort of a nightlight. My bed directly faced the window, but I felt comfortable not closing my curtains since my window was enclosed by the wooden fence. One night when I was in my bed nodding out, not awake but also not quite asleep yet, for some reason I opened my eyes and looked towards my window. I could see something in the area where the window met the grass, on the top half of my window that was unobstructed. I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see very well. The light was shining in so bright, it made it harder to see outside. Initially, I thought it was an object that blown over, like maybe a soccer ball or a bag. Groggy and not quite awake still, I sat up in my bed to get a better look of the object. It started to resemble a face. I leaned my body from one side of my bed and then to the other, trying to catch a glimpse of a different angle. In doing that, I could finally see the features of a man's face. The face slowly turned and followed my movements as I shifted from one side of my bed. He was completely expressionless, just intently looking at me. I froze. There was someone outside, laying belly down in the grass and looking at me from the small exposed top half of my window. After a moment of being froze, I reacted, and in one giant leap, I hopped out of my bed and ran upstairs. I went to my mom's room and got in her bed, thoroughly freaked out but also confused to what I have just seen. She woke up and asked me what I was doing. I told her I thought I saw a face in my window. She got up and took a look throughout her window, but didn't see anything. She was much more dismissive than alarmed since I didn't know for sure what I saw. And there was no sign of anyone. Also, it was dark. I didn't have my glasses on, so it's possible that I was just mistaken. The next morning before school, I decided to go outside to the area where my bedroom window was. Still unsure of what I'd seen or had not seen, the wooden fence surrounding the backyard of the house had a door, a point of entry to the backyard. My window was the first next to that door. Now, some point earlier in the year, the handle had broken off the fence door, and I couldn't fully latch it on to stay shut. In order to prevent it from becoming a noise nuisance in the wind, my mom had placed a cinder block up against the door inside the fence. That morning, the cinder block was not in front of the door, and the door was unlatched. Thinking back now, I must have awoken from my groggy state by the dull thud of the cinder block toppling over in the grass. And sometime after that, I came to the realization that there was a face in the window, looking at me. Later on that day, coming back from school, I saw an ambulance in front of my neighbor's front lawn. I had asked them what happened. Apparently, my neighbor was killed late last night by an intruder. A man, actually. What if I had never woken up? What if I had never seen that man's face in my window? Would that have been me? Would that have been my mom? Thanks for sticking around for that scary story. Again, it's your boy Okina. If you have any stories that you want me to read off, go ahead and put them down in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to do so. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button, so when I come out with new videos, you'll be notified. Thanks for listening.